No wonder I'm so hot. I have like one fucking sock on.
Wait, I'm sorry. So having one sock on made you hot?
Well, I was like, why is my body temperature, why is something wrong? Why is something off? And it's just that I had one sock on when I didn't have another one on, you know? And so like it was just throwing my balance off. Anyway, if you're just tuning in,
choose tater tot.
If you're just tuning in, I'm your host Logan, and this is the Milk and Toast podcast. I'm here with my best friend Mitch. Say hi to the people, Mitch.
Down with AT&T.
Yeah, fuck them dudes. No, for real, fuck AT&T. Y'all are literally the worst service that I've ever dealt with in my entire life, and that's what I have to say about that. If you know what, I could say more. And I'll probably say more sometime either this show or next week. But either way, y'all got smoke coming. I'm telling you.
Ooh,
fuck these people,
smoke
man. Listen, every week you guys make fun of me for not being able to promote the show on the show, which I mean like saying my social media and everything. And I'm going to tell you why I always have this problem. I have a problem with self-promotion just like many other creatives do, because it's like the fakest shit you can ever do, which means like, when you see somebody able to do that, we're all taught in like, I guess this industry or whatever you want to call it, like media, that these are the things you have to do. You have to promote, you have to say that this is your social media, this is all these different things, right? And I was just thinking about it today, and I was just thinking about how I hate like this formula because like nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? You guys don't give a damn if I say we're on Facebook. I really don't give a damn if I say we're on Facebook, because that's how bad I am at doing it. And what I really wanted to say about that, what feeling it gave me, is not one of like anger or anything, or even resentment that like whoever doesn't share or whoever fucks with the show or doesn't fuck with the show. I didn't even think of that at all. What it made me think about was that like, I really do love all the people that listen to the show, all 5 of you.
Facts. Shout out to y'all.
I really love, that there's anybody that would listen to me, Mitch, Claire, and whoever else we have on the show, like pontificate our wildest like thoughts and our hottest takes, right? But what I would ask for the people who listen to us is not that, you would even share the show or that you like or subscribe or any of things like that. What I want to ask of people who listen to this show is that if you don't like the show, I would wish that you would leave us a comment, telling us what you don't like. If you like the show, I would even ask that you would leave us a comment about what you did like. And like even more than that, even more than just, the exchange of what you can do for us, like tell me like what you disagree with on the show. Like tell me what you agree with on the show. Tell me how the show makes you feel, if it made you feel nothing, if it's trash, if it's the greatest thing you've ever heard. Like that's what I really want to hear. You know what I mean? That's what would matter to me more than a download, more than a like, more than a share, would be to know that somebody got something out of what we're doing here. You know what I mean? That it's just that this show is not just some vanity project and an empty gesture. That like it's not just like every other YouTuber or streamer you've ever heard who just ask you for like you to donate to their Patreon or give them likes and subscribes and everything, and you're just sitting there and you're probably entertained, but what is it all for? The idea behind the show, whether we succeed or fail in it, the main point of this show is supposed to be one, that you would either learn something, or that two, if you didn't learn something, that we at least made you at the very, very least think about something in a way that you haven't thought about it before, or maybe didn't want to think about it in that perspective before.
Right on.
You know? And so that's what I want to say. Instead of saying, you know, if you like the show, share the show. If you hate the show, send it to your enemies. You know, all that bullshit I usually say. Because, you know, even that was my fun way of trying to make a horrible, like, self-promoting thing less horrible. But when I think about you as the people who actually listen to the show, that's what I want to say. That's what I want from you, is that we can actually have a relationship throughout the show, you know, and that it'd be more than just that. All right. So yeah, that's all I had to say about that. And, you know, I don't know if, and like, yeah, if you like the show and you do love the show, you know, don't be afraid to share us either. I would say that, but like, that shouldn't be the priority. I don't think likes and subscribes are the priority for me. Like for me, the thing that would make the show the best show is if I knew if you liked the show, and if I would love to hear if you hated the show. I've said that like so many times, but like really don't be afraid to like write, hey, you were fucking wrong about this topic and here's why. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
That's how you start conversations.
like, cause we be like, sometimes it frustrates me how wrong we are about some shit and we still like go on about it anyway.
Well, that's how conversation goes sometimes. Like people be feeling convicted and whatnot, and they say things that they may not necessarily be, you know, the biggest professionals on. And it turns out they found out he was wrong later.
Yeah.
Everybody learns.
Like when I listen back to the show sometimes, I'm like, I argue with myself in the car listening to myself, or on the train now. I don't have a car anymore. But like if if I'm listening to the podcast and I'm listening to myself say something, I'm like, you're fucking wrong. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I want to comment. I want to comment.
If only we could get that live. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how many times I need that. He thinks saying it out loud because he said it in his head satisfies me in some way. It doesn't, you
I just
fucking
said
coward.
it on air. I just
yeah,
said
that
it
doesn't
on
matter. That means nothing to me, you coward.
It's gonna be on.
Coward!
Like, people are gonna know. They're gonna know.
They know anything. But no, I do agree with that though, because it really isn't about. It isn't about the promotion. By the way, you shouldn't feel bad about it, promotion, but that's just how it feels. You're like, ugh.
It feels gross, right?
Fuck, it feels like gross. But like, you shouldn't feel that way, but it just feels that way. But nonetheless, it isn't even about that. It really is about like building a community in that sense. Like the Milk and Toast, if there is anything I can say through what's been happening, through me and you, through me, you and Claire, even all our other guests and stuff, and the future guests we will have, what you're doing there is building a community of people, whether they be like-minded or not, but a community where people can come together to discuss.
Yeah.
Whether they're coming from different viewpoints or not. We can come here to the Milk and Toast podcast and we just gonna talk. Maybe we don't like how it ends. Maybe we do. But the fact is we had the opportunity to freely speak and say what we had to say. And so that's really what we want to build.
My idea,
you need that.
My idea, whenever I used to think about the Milk and Toast in the early days, was that the Milk and Toast podcast would be like its own universe, and whoever like came on the show would become a toasty. So like when Sarah came on the show, in the show notes we described her as a toasty. You know what I mean? We're toasties. Like that's what the toasties are talking about, because when you come on the show you become a toasty. When you subscribe to the show and you listen to the show, you're a toasty too, you know, because you're a part of this universe that we're ever expanding. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I think about the show. Not that it's just the thing that it is, but that it's its own universe, that it has all these different characters and people on it, that like as future, like as you said, like future guests and stuff, like those would be people that would become a part of this thing that we're doing, you know? And yeah, that's just how I think about it. That's how I think about the show. That's what I want the show to be. And that's, you know, that's just, I don't know. I feel like this is the first time I've ever clearly articulated, like after 36 episodes, like this is the 36th, like what the hell the show is about. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird. And I have to do it throughout the promo part. But like, I just hate promo. I hate doing things like that because I think this is why people hate it. Is because it's an empty gesture. It's an empty thing. You know, it's become so washed and so unnovel that like it's such an empty thing that like the reason behind it isn't empty, but the action of doing it is empty because like, oh yeah, go like and subscribe, blah blah, hit the bell, blee 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 blee, you know, all that shit. And it's just like it doesn't like nobody fucking listens to that. Everybody skips ahead. I skip ahead. I skip ahead and I literally skip when other people are like running down like their ads and shit. I do. Like, and I hate saying that because like I hope that somebody would want to sponsor us one day and that you wouldn't skip that ad.
Not everyone skips. Some people listen, but like it is so lazy. Easy to just be like, I don't want to hear that part because I'm already like listening. So why would I need to like
right?
But anyway, yeah.
Anyways, listen, this week here, as you guys listen to the show, is the first week of Black History Month. So happy Black History Month. Because I know you're going to listen to
y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Damn, I wish I had that song.
Black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. Because I'm black and I'm black. Because I'm black. I'm keeping it black. Because it's black.
Thank you, Mitch.
You're welcome.
Yeah, happy Black History Month. Do you like Black History Month? I love Black History Month.
No, not really, but I love it.
I knew he was gonna say.
Yeah, but I love it because it needs to be loved. But like Black History Month, you mean the whole goddamn year? Yeah, as we have the rest of. But you know that, which is why I love it because it is also, and I had to learn that later on because it felt like such a slight from the white community. Here, we're giving you this month. No, because the type of Black person I am is no. I'm taking this month, motherfucker.
Right.
But so it used to feel like a slate back in the day when I was coming up because I was like, what do you mean just the month? We're supposed to talk about it all year. That's the fucking problem. Mm-hmm. Everyone thinks it's relegated to a month, but you know that's not what it really means. And that was me being immature. You know the reason they fought for the month so hard is because, especially in America isn't a place just situated with one type of person. So it is nice to have that time and space where you can literally say like, yeah, you know, this is about this particular thing. And for Black History Month, this month is about Black people, our excellence, our beauty, our issues, our struggles, our weaknesses, you know, and it's really good to have that. It's good. And, you know, everybody's not like super consistent, you know, well, most people aren't as super consistent in being like, as influential or as helpful as I can in terms of the movement and the struggle. But here's a month to be like, hey, it's time to, you know, get back into the swing of things. In case we forgot, don't ever forget. But like, hey, there's work to be done. And so in that capacity, it is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing.
What my critique about Black History Month is that I love Black History Month. I've always liked Black History Month. One thing I really liked from, do you know who Tom Joyner is?
Tom Joyner? No, I'm unfamiliar.
No, you don't know who Tom Joyner is?
No, actually, I'm unfamiliar.
How did you get to school in the morning without Tom Joyner? I don't understand.
I don't know what that means.
It means that like if you young, supposedly if you're my age and you Black, like Tom Joyner used to be what your old ass Black parents would play in the morning on the radio show on the drive for them to take you to both school and then take themselves to work. And you would listen to Tom Joyner like's radio show. I know there's more than just me. It's just Mitch. It's more than just me that didn't listen to Tom Joyner in the morning. But like he's probably like my earliest inspirations for like just talking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like the way we do now. Because I love Tom Joyner and the way he does radio and everything. And he's probably problematic by today's standards now. But like, you know, what you gonna do? Yeah, he got out in time. So, you know. You know, you ever think about that? Like some of our heroes, like they quit. They quit just enough
they
time.
Left just before someone could like mess it up. Like Image all fucked up, but like, nah, I'm out now.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
You found out about some weird crime they did. It's like, well, They didn't do it while they had the show. You know
Yeah, exactly. the only person that doesn't work for is OJ. Like this is the only person that doesn't.
And obviously R. Kelly, but
that's because they OD'd. They went way out. Like, you can't just
they did way too much.
You can't do all
All
that.
you had to do was say you was wrong, nigga, and try to take some steps to fix your damn life. But no, I didn't do it.
What Tom Joyner used to do, which sometimes I think about doing on the show, is that like every day, every week would be like Black History Month to him. You know what I mean? So like he did this segment on his show that was called Black History 365, where literally every day he would give you a little known Black history fact. Like literally, yeah, you missed out on a great Black education, Mitch, on your way to school.
Don't you fucking Black education shame me.
I'm not shaming you. I'm trying to make you feel FOMO. I'm trying to make you feel like you missed out. It's worse.
Is that fucking piece of shit?
Anyways, he did, and like it was sponsored by McDonald's of all people. But like,
like
real,
back
right?
in like the
McDonald's
60s or 70s.
Swear they do it for the community. They swear it. You know
bro,
what
I know, bro. They be trying so hard.
They'd be like, "Oh, we love the community. We give y'all minimum wage jobs." Anyways, yeah. So like every day, like you would listen to like a little known Black history fact, and it wouldn't just be like, you know, George Washington Carver made the peanut and some shit. I mean, like some days it would be that, but that wouldn't be the everyday story. And that was like amazing. I love that. And that is my critique about Black History Month is that they say sometimes the exact same shit every year. Like growing up in the South in like, I don't know how to say it. It's like hillbilly schools. Like, like
I don't know if that's it. Deborah, hillbilly schools? Hillbilly No, that's not it. There isn't a Deborah, by the way. Deborah was my imaginary person, but she said no. I don't think you should say it like
white
that.
Secretary.
Of course, you gotta be my white secretary. The fuck you think? It's Black History Month.
That's true.
That's true. My secretary. The fuck, say something about it. Affirmative action, motherfucker. Everybody else would have been Black, but I let Deborah.
Damn, that's a weird ass joke with levels.
I know,
like,
I took it there, right?
Like,
I didn't even need to go that far. I was just, you know how I'm an actor, so I got lost. I was like, damn, I can take it there. This feels good. I like his power.
You learned all types of Black history like facts from him. So shout out to Tom Joyner, you know, for Black History Month every day of the year. But like, I wish that schools and other things, like I wish that there was an expansion on Black History Month and that didn't just include like the civil rights movement and like George Washington Carver making peanut butter. You know what I mean? Like I wish that there was like more than just 5 things that happened during.
You want to know, Logan, what's the big deal about that for me? Why that's the super huge deal? Because don't get us wrong, George Washington Carver is great. Harriet Tubman will always be great. We know greatness when we see it. The problem is they gave us specific facts, right? But when did we learn, for instance, like the film that came out, I forget the name, but how old were you when you first learned that the reason we got to the moon was because of 3 Black women? How old were you when you learned that?
Yeah, that was just, I was too
I don't know,
old.
I had to be like 27, however long ago it was that movie came out.
7, yeah.
How am I in a science class from whatever fucking grade, no matter what time it is, not learning about 3 Black women who made sure we made it to the moon?
Yep.
You feel me?
Yeah.
There's so many unsung heroes and things. I mean, AC, we never learn about gas masks, traffic lights. Like, other than doing like really, really big things, for instance, those 3 beautiful Black women, I am ashamed for not knowing the names by heart. But like, other than not knowing that fact, a lot of stuff that modern day people, Americans specifically, find convenient. Like the things you take for granted, Black people are also responsible for.
We are.
So now you're taking away the credit of us just making standards of living better.
We are a convenient people, though. Like, leave it to Black people to invent air conditioning.
Bro.
Like,
yo.
Like, we're fucking hot.
Yo, we hot
out here.
Mud, bro. But like, there's plenty.
I could make a direct line from slavery to air conditioning, which is like you outside in the heat all day, your ancestors outside.
It's too easy, actually. Stop it. It's far too easy.
Yeah, you go right to like, I'm never being hot again. Ever. Like, I'm just
bro, and I mean, the light bulb filament. Thomas Edison, and fuck Edison. First off, shout out to Tesla.
He's
in any
thief.
case,
like,
but he's
Edison
a thief.
Is the thief,
super thief, and which is typical. But we won't get on that. But then the filament for the light bulb, also a black person. So to actually get light bulbs in your home, because the rich was like, oh, electricity. There go another one, and then a black person was like, but you know what? People could probably use this on a regular basis in their homes. I wonder how we could figure that out. Boom! You have electricity in your house now. You have light in your home now.
Also, I would just like to say, it's fuck Thomas Edison, not Con Edison. Please do not shut off my lights. That's all I wanted to say.
I mean, fuck you for that too, though. But like, different conversations.
Con Edison is the same company, though. It's like that's why,
bro.
Edison,
yeah, bro, and that made me. It makes me. It's just like, and here's the thing, because in history in general, you can get so saddened in the blink of an eye. Because you may have looked up to someone and then learned one thing, and goddamn, bro. But now it's like, oh, Black history. Cool, I've been learning things. Oh, we haven't done too many things, I guess, but we've done some cool stuff. When it's really like, oh, shit, we've been doing shit all the fucking time.
Right.
And no credit given whatsoever until way later. Ridiculous. Absolutely unacceptable.
It's just funny to me because I was thinking today about how we were going to have this conversation. I was thinking about how like so many different like ethnic white groups, like the Irish or the Italians would be like, we built this country. And it's like black people are like standing in the corner, like right there, just like staring like, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, and that's no shade to those cultures. None. Because like, they played their part in American history.
Of course.
It's like, even sometimes like, the racism directed to black people from those cultures would be like, we built this country. And it'd be like, literally, like, dude. Like,
like wow, like, bro.
You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
And so, like, I think I do like Black History Month for that reason, is that, it is a month where we get to be like, listen, this is what we fucking are and this is what we fucking did. I just wish that Black History Month was a little bit more expansive, that it went beyond, slavery in the 60s, that like, like the rise of hip hop is Black history. Kendrick Lamar is Black history. You know what I mean? Like so many like of our Black contemporaries are Black history. Like fucking even Neil deGrasse Tyson is Black history. You know what I mean?
Why'd you say even Neil deGrasse Tyson? Like,
because I can't stand Neil deGrasse Tyson. But like even he, like from episode 1, I can't stand his ass. But like even he is Black history. You know what I mean? There's so many people that we should like exalt, not just for like celebrity sake, but maybe even for celebrity sake. Like Barack Obama is Black history. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's.
Facts.
I think people don't give him enough credit for being like the first Black president, especially like in hindsight after like Trump is the president right after him.
That's fair. You want to know something that my pot, and he didn't mean it in like a bad way, but he was old school on that. And I feel like there's that sentiment in like older Black heads sometimes where he's like, and he didn't even say anything bad against Obama. He was just like, I'm still hurting the country. It doesn't feel as good because I wish it was, because Barack Obama is biracial.
Yeah.
So he's like, I wish it was just a full. So it's not even like a colorist thing. He just feels like it's still a slight. Yeah. No, because it's not about how he looks. It's literally just, it's not colorist. It's not okay, of course not. But it's not color. He doesn't care that. He doesn't care like whether Obama would be. He could have been like the darkest skinned biracial person, and he would have been like, why is he not full Black America? What you trying to say? Black person can't be president unless they got a little bit of you in them. That's
deep. Yeah.
Yeah, there's an actual stance there, unfortunately. That's not how we think, and we love Barack Obama, and we love all our biracial, multiracial Black people. Ain't no separation, ain't no colorism. Y'all just as valid as any other Black person, full Black or not. Black is Black, and Black is beautiful. But, I think in terms of bringing up Barack Obama and why some people would feel that way, at least older people, because I don't, obviously, but at least older people, there's still that sentiment of like, we still being robbed. Like they're saying you're not good enough unless there's white in you.
Yeah. No, I've heard that.
The problem.
No, I know that.
Not there being white in you, the fact in terms of the position.
I've heard good takes about that. I've heard horrible takes about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I do understand that sentiment and that feeling because it's there that like, at least with the perception that like, Barack Obama is a biracial person, and like, would he have been president if he was like as dark as me or you? You know what I mean?
It does beg the question. Even though to me it's funny because to be honest with you, Barack just looked black. He don't look mixed in the first
place.
He
looks black to me too, especially when
he doesn't look mixed in the first place at all.
Spends more time in the sun, you know.
Yeah,
he
maybe
does brown up a lot.
He just got decent hair, as we would negatively say and should stop saying. You know what I'm saying? He just looked Dominican.
Good hair.
So Barack is no longer. It's not Barack. It's Barack.
I'm not saying that.
¿Cómo estás? Amigo, Arcano.
Why would you say como? He is not Spanish at all. Like,
oh, no bueno? No bueno?
No bueno.
Papi.
No.
It's okay. Dominicano.
He's
it's
not
okay.
Dominican either.
Oh, okay.
That is the funniest shit. That Barack Obama is secretly Dominican. Oh my God. That is literally the accidentally most funniest shit I've ever heard you say. That Barack Obama is actually Dominican.
Michelle, they found out Michelle. Shit. What am I going to do? The Hispanics are never going to let me live this down.
Let me find out that he got a chain under his suit. Let me find out. Yo,
okay, we have to stop. We crossed some lines, I'm pretty sure, somewhere.
Fucking wild take.
Oh, my God. We've crossed some lines, and I apologize. I apologize profusely.
I'm just saying that, like, he had to be, like, the most perfect black person ever, and he's still like this. That's just a myth, and it doesn't exist. But like in America's eyes, he had to be, and it still wasn't good enough because right after they found like the most racist person they could find, and then made him president right after.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? So
no,
it's just
it's literally what happened.
Yeah, it's like
it's not even up for debate. That's literally it's just facts, and that's the sad part. That's not even an opinion on your part, even though it sounds like it.
No,
that is literally
it's not.
Just a factual statement. And that's the
Donald
sad part.
Trump in the 80s said that like he didn't want black people in his buildings, and like Jewish people are like the best at doing taxes, so he would never hire like a black person to do his taxes. Like this is literally the most racist person you could find, and they made him president right after the first black president. Like this is like there's levels to that shit. You know what I mean? And there's levels to being the first black president in a country that thinks that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you have to be like, what the fuck is he Kryptonian? Like what the fuck is he? That like he tricked everybody into thinking that like, yeah. Why not
there is a comic book character. Since you mentioned Kryptonian, and we're talking about Black history.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Valzad. I forget which Earth he's from, but he was based on Barack Obama.
Yeah,
but he's
Superman that looks like
the Black
Barack.
Superman.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
Black Kryptonian. Mind you, they're Kryptonian, so they probably should be built that way anyway. But that's a different discussion.
The thing that's always bothered me about Barack Obama was that like he's like any other president, which is like he does a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? But we could never ever really talk about that because of all the bullshit that like the racist bullshit and stuff that they would just make up about him. And so we would always have to talk about that. We couldn't
really
Would you like
to hear my stance on Barack Obama and the presidency in general, real quickly?
Yes. I mean, like, I probably agree with you because, like,
you might not because we might.
I don't know because I feel like we could never actually have a conversation about like things like maybe he shouldn't be bombing like third world countries just for the fuck of it.
I wasn't even going to take it there, and so obviously I agree with that. You know that, but as you know, my stance is trust no president. Can't really trust the American presidency, not because of them as people, just because of what politics is, American politics and the things they have to do. Right. But think about that. The man who doesn't trust the presidency and thinks, technically it's kind of like a secret cult and bit. Out of all of those presidents, the only one with any shred of decency, for the most part, because I mean, Washington and Jefferson, forefathers and all that, great. They still own slaves, so fuck you. Was the only president with shreds of decency.
They did a lot more than just that, but
and they did a lot more than just that. I mean, where does teeth come from? Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Barack kind of the only one who had any actual like decency. I mean, there's probably a few in there before as well. Like we can't really talk about Clinton.
I'll let you have that opinion. I won't dispute it or not because that's your opinion.
It's not a rough one.
It's not the worst opinion I've ever heard about Barack Obama. But like, you know what I mean? I don't try to moralize like politicians because
You
like
can't. Yeah, you can't.
yeah, because
I think
like
it's a problem for the record, but you
that
really
is
can't.
a big problem. It's a big problem. Like unless they're like really doing some shit, I don't want to. Is that your smoke alarm going off in the back?
Yeah, upstairs.
You burning down? You should go check on that.
I know. I kind of have to. All right, keep things going. I'll be right back.
He always says that. He says keep things going. Like the show's gonna just keep going on. Okay, well we're gonna take a short break and stop like talking about Barack Obama, even though it is Black History Month. So fuck y'all.
Fire.
All right, we're back.
Not on fire. Hallelujah.
Anyways, we should move on from this topic, but I just think we're gonna talk about Black History Month more over the course of the month.
Yeah.
But I just I just find it interesting. I feel like maybe we should even talk about like an expanded universe of Black history. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, but I'm gonna start myself with the Black Panther Party because that's one of my favorite parties, and Huey P. Newton's my favorite like civil rights figure. So like I'll probably go do some more research because what I know offhand isn't enough to me, and then we could go into that. And it's not even about because the party, even if itself had some issues, but they all do at the end of the day. It's hard to, be have a revolutionary mindset and be building the way they were building and, not run into some issues. Right. But like, I would like to touch on that briefly because it's so great. I mean, the fact of them defending themselves, getting that mindset, women having a place to be empowered in the space. You know what I mean? Like a large percentage of leaders. I mean, Angela Davis, like amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fred Hampton, all that. I'd like to start there because, like, everybody always wants to talk MLK and Malcolm X, but you notice how the school books never want to bring up the Black Panthers, though, right? Reason for that.
They never in like the proper context or anything. Like I was thinking about Malcolm, the dynamic between like how Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King is always framed, where like Dr. Martin Luther King is the peaceful one and Malcolm X is like the militant one.
Yeah, and they put them at odds with each other when they were never at odds with each other. They disagreed.
Malcolm always had some spicy shit.
Well, he said shit he was like, honest, and I think King would have respected him for that.
Sometimes would like call MLK like Uncle Tom. Like,
oh really? I didn't know that. That ain't cool.
It was close. Like it was.
Was it that or was it close, bro? Because if it wasn't that, like that's
it wasn't
just
like specifically, but I'm pretty sure I can find a clip of him being like, "These niggas," like what I mean.
So the only thing that I'll say about that is because back in that day, like that is almost like how you spoke man to man, and if that's how you felt, you had to spit that shit. Like,
no, he was like a lot more eloquent about it than I'm being right now. But like that's a real thing. Like they had like soft beef between them because they really didn't agree with some of the tactics, and they thought each other was both like detrimental to like the movement, but not so much that they wanted each other like eliminated. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like that. I still think it's just the way it's been framed because the same thing happens with W.E.B. Du Bois, and I always forget if it's Dubois because that's how I want to say his name, or Du Bois because he's American. But in any case, with W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington, they always put them at odds because Booker T was always on the side of, learn a trade and all that. And WB was all like, hey, well, learn, you know what I'm saying? Empower yourself through knowledge, not just, trade and stuff like that. And they always put them at odds. And WB says some slick shit. And I remember the quote, like something along the lines of, Booker T could turn a man into a carpenter and I could turn a man into a man. And it's like, yo. What you trying to say, bro? Bro, but even then amongst those two, like, that was them having, mental sparring. Like, hey, I had this to say something back, bro. Like, come on, I'm trying to bring people up. But it always looks in his peg like in books as if like they were legit enemies. And I think it's a divisive tactic used because it's like, oh, see, yeah, if you're thinking one way, you can't get along. And it's like, no, those two people probably could get along. They just disagreed. And you have to learn to be able to disagree with people and still move forward. It's something I want to say.
I don't know. I think some of them might have had actual like smoke between each other.
Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible.
I think that I think you're right. It is a divisive tactic. But I also think because like in the case of like Malcolm and Martin, like the idea that like one is good and one is bad is like definitely a divisive thing that they usually pushed in schools, and they probably still push today, is that like, oh, one is doing the right thing and one is doing the wrong thing. And it's like, no, not necessarily. Like even like when people were well-meaning about the depictions, like when what I'm thinking of is like even Stan Lee when he like wrote the X-Men, and like Professor X is supposed to be MLK, and like Magneto is supposed to be Malcolm. Sorry. What the fuck, man?
Apparently that was accidental. Funny enough, people we look at it now because the parallel has been drawn, but according to Stan Lee, that was actually accidental. Influence definitely there,
right?
But apparently accidental.
But even that, like that framing still pits like Malcolm as the villain. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
Like Magneto is supposed to be kind of like an anti-villain where like he's good sometimes, or he like has the right idea, but he's always doing fuck shit. You know what I mean? So it's like
hear it out. Here's my thing with Magneto. Magneto does the wrong thing. I have to agree, because I would stop. And Magneto, you can't just go doing that, bro.
Yeah.
The fact is, he has the power, so yes, he actually can, and it would help a lot if his actions weren't justified through the shit that humans were doing to the mutants in the comics, bro. It would help so very much.
It would help, but it is also he's still like in the wrong. So like that framing is like methods, is like when we look back and we're like, okay, well, this is the influence and blah blah blah. It's like, well, ipso facto is like Malcolm in the wrong, right? You know what I mean saying? And it's like when Malcolm says, the spicy shit he's saying, he's not necessarily wrong all the time. And even when he comes back and he's like, we need to try a different approach, he's still not like trying to like endanger like the people that he stands for. You know what I mean? He still has like an attitude about him. So it's like the idea that somebody can stand up for themselves and then that be the wrong thing. Like the idea that you can promote like just defending yourself. And like that's how humans are. Whenever we find that we can no longer oppress somebody, that's when our defenses go up. Or like we've come in contact with somebody who just flat out refuses to be like oppressed and wants to meet our energy level at their energy level. There's always going to be a problem there, because like, whatever problem I have with the framing is that like it turns MLK into a saint that he never was. You know what I mean? Like he's a highly complex individual, and he never ever like advocated for like peace in the way that like means like you should just slaughter us all and just let that be that. Like it was
people
always
trying to make him Gandhi.
Yeah, it's not like he's Gandhi, not boy. That. Like he's not that at all. You know what I mean? And like they always try to frame him as if he's not, as if he's like all inclusive and he's not pro-black. Like this is a person that included in his speeches that I am black and I'm beautiful because of it. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I share that every MLK day. If I don't share that like GIF, like every MLK day, I share a GIF of MLK like shouting, "I'm black and I'm beautiful," because I have to remind everybody. At least in my heart, I want to remind everybody that this is what he was doing it for. It's not just, the same 5 speeches you hear, or really 2 speeches you hear every year, if you're lucky enough to hear 2. You know what I mean? So it's like, I just reject the framing of like how history is told. And I feel like we should think more critically about it, but we should also like be more loud about it. I don't know.
Yeah. But what they did to Malcolm, because at the end of the day, my biggest gripe with how they did Malcolm is at the end of the day, you can't have someone assassinated over discourse. I don't care.
Well, his own people assassinated him.
Yeah.
Well, so it's said. So it's said.
I think it was inside, but exactly the point is, people like to be like, "Yo, he was so violent and stuff." Like, violent? Where? It was discourse. The man spoke on his fucking thoughts. You didn't like them.
Yeah.
Who the fucking who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless.
They also do make me feel like I can never like be a radical anymore. Like being a radical now, you have to be like Kanye. Like you have to be Kanye. You have to say like shit that like nobody wants to hear anymore. You know what I mean? You can't say shit that like means shit anymore. I don't feel like that shit's radical. Like I watch people on like Facebook now, like they say like radical like communist shit and stuff. I'm just like, this is going nowhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what does this fucking mean to anybody? Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Nobody's coming for you. The CIA is not tapping your phone for this bullshit. And it's funny because like our information is so like given to Facebook, but like the CIA literally does not give a fuck if you're like spreading communist propaganda anymore. Like they don't give a fuck anymore. Like I don't believe it. I don't believe it because it's like they're like
to be honest, depends on who you are.
We're better at Facebook than you are. Do we give a fuck about you? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's not like they have, because, you know, and part of what this history has done, and that's why civil rights is still important, and I'll leave it at this, is the fact that from that time, you know, and of course, and technically it's pre-60s, because civil rights has always been in our fucking heads since we came here.
Right.
Nat Turner was about civil rights, you know what I'm saying? Harriet Tubman was about civil rights, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, we've had a history of people having to fight so hard to do these things and not having much to show for it, or as much as they should. And then you have a government doing its best to show you what happens when you try to take those steps. Right. Look at what happened to Fred Hampton in his own home at 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. You know what I mean? So like that is we are the remnants, and look at what it's done to us. Look at what the history done to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, most black people ain't trying to. No one wants to go to war in the first place. Most black people ain't trying to be a revolutionary mindset that has you going hungry when they can be a CEO off TikTok and make millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, as sad as that is to me, that is just the case. So that is definitely like a product of the history.
We are very comfortable with our condition, which I want to switch topics for a second, but like that's part of it. Like that's what I wanted to lead into, is that how comfortable we are with like the way work is, capitalism is, and things like that. Like we all complain about it, but we're not really about that life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're not really about, you know,
absolutely
living a life where we're actually demanding that we are treated better as like individuals, as like people who contribute to society, and like saying that, hey, you eat because of us. You know what I mean? Not the other way around. You know what I mean? Because so many of us have it in our mind that like, no, it is the other way around, and they need to give me this check or I really can't eat, which, you know, in the reality of things, in the small scheme of things, it's true. But like, if we all stopped working one day, which is what this pandemic showed us, they literally would still pay us. You know what I mean? Like, and they did, you know, like that's what people should really think about, is that like, what if like we just fucking never went back to work, even if the government said, hey, we're not gonna give you anything. It's like, okay, fine, we're just not, like, if everybody who was a worker decided to stop working, right, and they also decided that we're just gonna run on a barter system on our low plebeian level, that we'll just like, oh, we can't eat, fuck it, we'll just give people the bread for free at the supermarket that we work for, because nobody's fucking working or eating or anything or shit, that would be like they'd start killing people. You know what I mean? Like that would be some real revolutionary shit, is that like we just like held the line and we were just like, let's just take care of each other for the first couple of months, because they don't want to take care of us, so why should we take care of them? You know what I mean? Yeah. But what happens is they threatened us, and then we felt like, oh, well, we need to go back to work. And then it's like, well, maybe the pandemic isn't that bad. Maybe they making this stuff up because, you know, and like that's how all the misinformation happens, which is part of the plan. You know, part of the plan is the misinformation, because they want you to go back to work. They don't want you to think that you can just like get money from them, even though it's your money and your taxes, you know, that they're giving back to you. You know, and so people end up dying, people end up getting sick, people end up going to work. I caught COVID because I was at work. I caught COVID because I was at work, and there was like bad policies about COVID. Like the government implemented bad policies about COVID. People are afraid of where their next meal is because of COVID, you know, and so, and the misinformation that swirls around COVID because of like, you know, workers, like not workers, because of politicians and because of like interested parties and things like that, you know, that also is why I got sick. That's why you got sick, Mitch. That's why a lot of people got sick, right. You know? And so what I was just like, I was really going to talk about instead of this little rant I just got onto, I was really going to talk about how like we can't even like work with balance anymore. We can't, like, I know this guy that I work with, his arm is fucking shot, but he won't do anything about it because he's like, I'm not going to take a week off of work. I can't afford it. You know what I mean? But we lift heavy shit every day. So I'm like, you can't, I said, you need to at least put your arm in a sling, please, for the love of God. And he refuses to do it because he doesn't want it to look like he can't work. So they send him home because he knows they're not going to pay him. And the sick days that he uses, he wants to be able to save them just in case he ever needed a real emergency, or just because he wanted a day off that he can have a sick day. You know what I mean?
It's sadness, yeah.
And so that's the fucking crazy part to me, is that we're at the point where the job that we're working, even though it needs us to be at full health, we can't be at full health, whether it be like an injury or COVID or sickness or whatever. We can't even be at full health because of the threat of like poverty that the job imposes on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just, that's been so heavy on my heart and my mind because I just watched this guy and he's like the nicest dude you'd ever meet. Like, I work with some of the nicest people, and like, he's like, I feel that pain. Like, they were going to take him on a run to like lift all this heavy shit. And I said, no, I'll go. Like, they're like, are you sure you want to go? I was like, no, I'll go. Like, I was working with the guy that we needed to go on the run with anyways, but like, he was going to take the guy I'm talking about because he's more experienced and stuff. But I was like, no, let me go, because I didn't want him going knowing that he had like some fucking shoulder fucked up problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that to brag or anything, but it's just like, I felt afraid for him. Like, I really felt like, because we're like, what I told the other guy was, we're men, you know, and men have egos to the point where we don't like to say shit a lot of the time. We don't like to act like we can't do something until like it fucking breaks.
Yeah.
And then we're fucked, you know?
Yeah.
We're just fucked. Then the thing that we were trying to avoid and we were afraid of happening happens.
A vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. And that is the state of things. That's one of the biggest problems, man. And that's why people try to fight so hard for, you know, wage raises and everything. The standard of living keeps increasing, but when's the last time the wage for living matched it in any capacity?
Not
you know
since
what I
like
mean?
the 70s, yeah.
Bro, and like, it is a damn shame. Like, people really can't like level up as best as they can. And you would think a society that says it wants what's best for its people would focus on that instead of other things. But, you know, people don't care. Not really, at least.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's always a reason why we can't. This can't be priority because, you know, we gotta think about paying off our debt. And debt. Anyway, I'm not going to get into.
And it's like their debt.
Into the
it's not even ours. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's like, what the fuck, bro?
Mitch has a talent for making me realize how fucking conditioned I am sometimes.
I have to. I have to do it for myself, so I have to do it for. I mean, you do it too. So, but it's like we kind of have to notice those things because we normalize. And I've said this before. We normalize so much shit wrong with our society. We just think it's normal. It's the status quo. This is how it is. This is how it should be. Right. And it's like, no, actually. I don't think this is it, Captain. I think we're gonna need to actually do something. You know, boat look like it's sinking. It ain't fully sunk, but I think we gotta do some shit to make sure it don't sink.
I wanted to, before we go, I wanted to have one last conversation. I wanted to talk about Neil Young, Joe Rogan, and Spotify.
Oh, right. Okay, so I guess it's good to. All right, well, go ahead and start because I'll tell you what I was saying.
Which is fucking funny because, like, maybe it's not a theme of the show, but we've been talking, like this show, I mean, but we've been talking about, like, you know, corporations and them fucking people over and, I don't know, just like the fuck shit that, like, people in power do to, like, either maintain power or maintain their wealth or whatever, which is kind of a theme of the show. But, like,
understandably,
to me, what is... First of all, disclaimer, I don't know who the fuck Neil Young is. All I know is he sings and he's famous, okay? And I know that he's famous enough to have, like, his own like shit on Spotify and like people.
He's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you fucking with Canadians? They're such nice people. Anyways, that's the stereotype at least. Anyways, you know why Canadians are nice people? Is because they have like us Americans and we're so loud and brash right underneath them. That's why everybody thinks Canada is nice.
We force them to deal with us and therefore be nice because you know our militaries are shared. Well, not shared. We help them militarily. They don't get fucked with because of us. And so we kind of have that relationship. We kind of
have to. We can't have like the
biggest. We don't actually. We don't really have to. We just have to make sure we protect the borders.
That's true. Haiti is right there.
We do help, and I mean Haiti ain't helping America for nothing. I hope, but anyway.
I mean like America don't help Haiti, and like it's like right there.
Yeah,
you know
exactly, exactly. No, we don't have to at all, but we do, and they help us. I believe in resources, but our relationship is we're the one with the big ass stick, and they're the one like tagging along. So of course they're like nice. But I don't think that's why they're nice. I think Canadians are actually just nice people. But that is the relationship.
What's a famous song that Neil Young has sung? Can you find?
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. You can
find a fucking song.
All right.
This man is famous for no reason. Like it's.
Shut up. Let me see what we got. Neil Young, who's definitely.
What's the song we probably heard? I'm gonna look it up too.
I see top listed on Spotify. My Back Pages, Journey Through the Past, All Along the Watchtower, Campfire, which is on the right. Oh, you know this song? I don't know that song.
All Along the Watchtower? That's the Jimi Hendrix joint.
Or maybe he's old. Like he was around in the 60s and shit. So that's not really surprising. Yeah. Campfire with Drum and Neil Young. Oh, so he's featured on that, but that was off the Bright soundtrack. The Bright soundtrack was fire. However you feel about the movie. I liked it. Some people don't, but that soundtrack was fucking fire.
He's got a lot of songs. Like
he's been around for a while making music. Yeah, I'm just
too fucking young, I guess.
Or maybe uncultured. Maybe we should know Neil Young. Shout out to Neil Young.
No, I'm just young. I'm gonna say that because I'm about to turn 30, so I'm just young.
What you guys aren't seeing is Sarah in her natural environment getting shit done.
Oh yeah, she's getting shit done big time now.
Sarah said, "Don't y'all play with my baby." And in her mind, she said it in a black woman's voice, I think. But like,
no, I wouldn't like that. I would not like that at all.
It's not about you; it's about her, and I hope she likes that. But
no, what's your billing? Your billing is different. Because
did you want the billing code or the shipping
Jesus Christ.
code?
Sarah ain't playing no fucking games. She ain't playing no games.
Mary?
We gotta be quiet.
All right, cool.
Is she there? It's
Mary?
Baby.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Did you want for the terms and conditions, did you want the billing or the shipping?
Sorry, ma'am, I cannot hear you.
No problem. Mary,
hello?
Hello?
Okay, right now I hear you, ma'am.
For the terms and conditions, did you want the billing or the shipping code?
The shipping zip code, ma'am. The one that you have, that the phone will be shipped. In Manahan.
Okay, thank you.
Yo, this is nice. I don't know where she's coming from. Definitely not in state or country, but real nice woman. She frazzled. She's like, oh my God.
Okay, I accepted the terms and conditions. Mary?
No games.
So she just walked out.
Yo, she working. She don't give a fuck about you. She said, I gotta make sure my baby get his shit. I don't give a fuck he doing something right now.
Stomped out.
Bro. Sarah she be acting shy, but she got that I'm willing to stomp motherfucker out energy.
The 11th of February, okay? Would there be anything else I can help you, ma'am?
No, thank you so much for your help.
You know what? It's not a problem. It's always a pleasure, assisting my customer. And it was a great day that I was able to resolve another customer's concern. And for that, did we cover everything and put a smile on your face?
Yes, we're very happy.
All right. And I want you both, you and your
That's not necessarily true, but they're happier than they were.
Because you look more glamorous and handsome when you were smiling.
Yes, that's great advice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful night. Bye for now.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Booyah!
One thing I will is that when they're going to send you a bunch of confirmation emails, those are automatically automated, so they're not going to reflect the discounts, but the discounts will be reflected in the actual bill that comes.
Okay.
So just so you don't freak out.
Okay.
My work here is done.
Well done, Sarah.
I want a foot massage.
Well done.
Okay.
Tell Sarah I said well done.
Mitch said,
And I
well
love
done.
you.
I love you too.
Thanks, Mitch.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh.
I don't know what to do with myself.
I know, you're all like warrior.
She
woman.
on that. She on that. I was working high, and now I don't know what I got to do.
I know, she was in the trenches.
I was.
You have to work. The world will do that to you.
She went like Super Saiyan 11 Karen power. Like, it was like,
Stop calling her Karen. She was justified.
she was like,
Karen just be mad for no fucking reason.
that's true.
They fuck with her people. She fucked them up. That's how it goes.
Mitch
That's how
said
it
it's
works.
not Karening if it's like valid.
It's justified. Fuck
Yeah,
them. They
it's
fucked up your
justified.
shit. We gonna use our resources and power to fuck them back.
This is
till they do
literally
right.
the first time where I haven't been able to get something done, but somebody else has like done it for me and got it
Oh
done.
damn! I'm sorry.
No, it's like, it's weird because it's like one of those
No, I
things
said
where
I'm sorry because I was being an asshole. I was gonna be like, I wouldn't know. I've never had to have that happen to me.
Fuck you. No, it's just weird because it's like, I'm one of those people that I always take care of things by myself. I'm always like, you know,
No, I feel you, but it's nice to get help sometimes, man.
it's weird. And I almost
okay,
cried.
shut up for a quick second because you have to learn this lesson the hard way whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And my older brother, he didn't teach it to me physically, but he gave me the advice to help me move. Like, you have to learn to be willing to accept help and like gifts from other people. People
Right.
wanting to do nice things for you or help you isn't a bad thing that you should neglect or keep away.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said I didn't do that right.
No,
He
don't.
said, come get this. He said, yeah.
Don't torture me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He likes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said,
Okay, I know it's
yeah.
kind of weird right now. I'm sorry, it's kind of weird right now, but
You could use that later if you want.
all right, that's really strange. I guess you got me back for earlier. You got me back for earlier. Good on you. But you just fucked up everything.
I did get you
Glad
back.
she came back and smacked you upside your dumb ass head. We're going too far. Back to Neil Young.
A kiss. That's what makes it so funny. It's like,
I know. And I was just fucking around, but you had to really fucking make it weird. Back to Neil Young,
I'm
please.
very spiteful, aren't I? Like, I'm just really like
I'm aware.
Like,
I'm very aware.
That's so out of line. Like, that's horrible.
Bro, really? You stupid.
Hold on, let me
You
put the
ridiculous.
blanket back up. This is crazy. What a night.
Indeed, it has been a crazy night. I'm not gonna lie.
This is literally the worst episode and like the best night. Yo, that's love.
She loves you. Lucky you.
I know.
I would say lucky her, but I don't feel it the same. Vice versa.
I mean,
But
no. I mean, I do.
Look.
Like, I feel like I've never done anything that much for her before. Like, I feel like I've obviously done things for her, but not to that extent. Not yet,
well,
at least.
being there is part of the battle, and Sarah pegs me for the type of woman who didn't think anyone would want to be there.
No, Sarah is a doer. That's her thing. Like, she, you know, whatever her faults or perfections are, like, her thing is like she does. Like, if she's better at, like, you know, getting things done, that aspect of like a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, that is definitely her shit. She, like, you get her to do something, if she believes she can do it, or like if it's for you, she'll get it done. Now, if it's for her, not so much, but like that's the way I am too, you know? But like, she, like, one thing I always say about her is she does, you know, like that is her shit.
Oh, look at you. Oh, you basically fucking gushing right now. Oh, you so happy. You so happy you got your partner, bro. Yo, for the record, y'all didn't see this, but she gave him a kiss to be all like supportive. And then he go ahead and grab her by the hand and be like, no, come back. I ain't finished loving you yet. I'm not quitting you. And then before he lets her go, yeah. It's so great.
We keep getting interrupted by like my great love life.
Shut up, man. Some of us are going to be lonely for Valentine's Day, all right? Be thankful for what the fuck you got.
Yo, it is so easy to have a Valentine, okay? I'm tired of this. Just lower your fucking standards.
I don't want to have a conversation.
Literally anybody.
We're talking about fucking Neil Young, okay? We could talk about Valentine's Day next week or something.
Okay. So, back to Neil Young.
So, yeah, I have no idea who he is, really.
No, apparently he's made some like classics and bangers or whatever. I don't know.
I believe it. I respect him. Respect him. Respect you. I'm just.
He works hard in the white people music sphere. You know. I had to do that. I'm sorry.
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
No, anyway. I don't know him. I don't know this person.
Anyway,
apart from like one Jimi Hendrix song, because I fuck with Jimi Hendrix, but like.
Oh, okay.
Anyways,
so anyway, moving on.
Neil Young, he's probably a legend. And I'm probably speaking like bad ignorance and like really down on him, but like I am self-aware, so don't come at me. So earlier this week, Neil Young says to Spotify, "Hey, you know that Joe Rogan podcast you guys have? You know, the one with all the COVID misinformation where like every week he says something that's completely false about COVID and gets like probably millions of people sick and killed for it. Maybe you guys should stop doing that. Or maybe if you don't stop, I'm going to take all my music off the platform." And Spotify looked at him and said, "Well, take it off, nigga." Like, it was like
Bro, okay,
that's what happened.
Okay, so all right. So the funny thing is I actually would probably stand with Neil Young in terms of what his stance was, but in terms of like actually executing it, I could not, because that's not the platform Spotify has. And like, how you gonna give a streaming platform an ultimatum about who they stream when not enough people apparently know you enough to care?
Because it's happened before. Yes, yes, exactly, Mitch.
Bro,
that's exactly my point. Because like, who does he think he is?
The bargaining
Drake?
power is
like,
there.
He's not like,
yo, bro. The basic premise is, it's not that I think you're wrong, Neil Young. I'm just wondering because I don't actually know. I'm just wondering if the bargaining power is there. It would seem to me, as is the case with how this ended up panning out, that the bargaining power is obviously not there. So if you really want to remove your stuff off Spotify and technically remove an obviously viable stream of income for yourself, well, go ahead and do that, because I'm a man who stands on principle, so I'll respect you more. But I'm not thinking you really need to do that.
It's funny to me. Like, it's an obviously serious issue, and I wanted to get to the serious part, but like, it's just funny to me that Spotify turned to him and said, "Ain't nobody looking for you." He said, "Ain't nobody looking for you, Otis."
Ain't nobody coming to see you,
Ain't nobody coming to see Otis.
And that shit was so mean, bro. Like, because he made really valid points. Like, we can't, and mind you, I don't have anything against the Joe Rogan podcast specifically until we start getting into, and honestly, the Joe Rogan podcast didn't have much negative to say really until we started getting into misinformation on COVID. Like, there was ridiculous things, outlandish things, but then y'all started playing researchers, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, and it was like, Joe, come on, dude, you don't need to go this hard. Like, mind you, so no one's even saying you have to agree with taking the vaccine, advocate for taking the vaccine, or take it yourself, Joe. It's just the fact you have a platform and you decided to spread misinformation about the fucking vaccine and COVID, bro.
I hate that word, misinformation. It's fucking lies. Like, that's
well, the horse like, dewormer was much.
They don't say, you know why they don't say lies? They don't say lies so they don't get taken down or they don't get sued. And I don't give a fuck. But like, it's a fucking lie. That's what
my man was dead, just making shit up. Almost,
misinformation. Bro. You're spreading misinformation. Like, I know the word lie applies like intent, but like to misinform means to purposefully lie. Like, you're still saying the same shit.
Well, wait. Don't take it that far. Because
why not?
Because, well, I'm just speaking in terms of like getting closer to the actual definition of misinformation. Mm-hmm. And a person spreading misinformation is as easy as them just being misinformed.
No, there's a distinction between misinformation and disinformation. And like this great girl that was on Instagram, her name is, I don't even remember. Let me see if I can
Don't bring her up. You don't remember her name? How you going to give a shout out to somebody and then don't remember the shout out?
Because I actually love this person because I hate conspiracy theories, and like her whole shtick is like anti-conspiracy theories, and she does it on like TikTok and what's the other one? Instagram.
I'm mad you said what's the other one like he was 50. I know you noticed you did that. Like I'm not letting you get away with it.
I'm getting old, Mitch.
Wow.
Her name's Abby Richards, and she's a TikToker, and she's like an Instagrammer, and like she's like an influencer, but like all she does is anti-conspiracy theories. And like she had like this whole spiel about what's the difference between misinformation and disinformation, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't really remember the whole spiel. So you should like look her up and let her tell you. But however, the difference between the two is one is when somebody actively spreads something that they're not true in order to further an agenda. And the other is when somebody takes that same information that the person with the agenda had, and then they spread that information in a they spread that information to... what's the word? Just because they're ignorant about the information and they heard it from that person, you know? And so one is like somebody actively giving you a virus, and the other is like somebody just sneezing on you accidentally and giving you the virus, you know, kind of like COVID and Joe Rogan. So...
So points made. Okay, please carry on.
So that's what I mean. Like it's all just lies. It's all shit that's false. It's not real. And Neil Young has I hate when this happens. Like somebody has a real point, but they're just like they don't
it's
have.
Like I don't know. Like, you're not that guy, pal.
Like
you're
their ridiculousness like overshadows their point. You know what I mean? It's like if Neil Young took his music off of Spotify, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? I know I just lost you. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I care, Neil Young, artist to artist, I guess. No, I care. Just
no, it's just I mean, like I understand like where he was going with it. I think I would understand more if like Kendrick or Drake did it, but like I understand what he was going for. Like even if like fucking Flow Rider did it, like I would understand. Like I mean, like it's got a lot of hits, man. Like
yo, valid.
But like Neil Young, I don't know. Maybe he goes hard in the paint on Spotify.
Bro, so we got to commit. Maybe for next week, we got to listen to like one early album and see how we come back. Be like, and maybe then we'll be like, yo,
I bet
if y'all let Neil take his music off, fuck y'all.
No, I think his music probably is really good. If he's got All on the Watchtower, like he's probably got some real bangers. But like, are they certain? Like, is the demographic that he caters to on Spotify? Like that's Spotify's point, is that like, and that's what I hate, is that like, okay, if I want to be serious and I want to really say what I hate about this whole shit, is that yes, it's very silly for this man who like nobody cares about anymore to be like, take me off, or like take the guy who's like really killing people out here off, right? But Spotify as a company literally made the decision that like, nah, fuck you. We like the disinformation. Like we like they made that decision. Like it's
okay.
And like because the Neil Young thing is so silly, like Spotify gets away with being like, nah, we kind of vibe with the shit where like y'all don't know what the fuck is going on because of COVID. Like we're in the middle of a public health crisis, and like Spotify is like, yeah, we like that shit as long as it makes us cash. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that is the truth.
It wasn't about like
it wasn't about Neil or Joe. It was just about the money.
Yeah, but like he forced a multi-billion-dollar company to literally admit out loud that misinformation and disinformation is profitable. Like that's the whole argument against what Joe Rogan is doing, is that he's making a profit off of this shit. You know what I mean? Like he's making like his shit ain't for free. He's got an exclusive deal with Spotify. That's why
No,
Neil
I know.
Young.
Yeah.
That's why he targeted Joe Rogan. Is that he has an exclusive deal where Spotify literally pays him directly, and they've paid him like $500 million, damn near, to have just his podcast and exclusive rights to his podcast because his podcast is so big and so many people listen to it. Like, this isn't small shit. Like, literally millions of people like listen to Joe Rogan, and they listen to him tell like fucking lies about the pandemic just because like Joe Rogan feels like that's what his audience wants to hear. Like, there's a conspiracy theory element to the Joe Rogan show that his fans do tune in to hear outlandish shit. And there was a time where at the beginning of the pandemic, I've even heard other people say it, like he was having credible people on the show, but then it kind of like moved away from that as the pandemic went on. And I think it's because he has like an audience and a market that he looks at, and he's like, no, these people want conspiracy theories and shit, which in one sense, I hate conspiracy theories, but I also have to think about, what's the market behind them, and that this is a fucking like industry. You know what I mean? That people make money off of making conspiracy theories, and they make money off of spreading conspiracy theories. And like that's the conspiracy behind the conspiracy theories, is that like people are actually making money off of telling you stories. You know what I mean? Which is like anything else, but it's like the pseudo factual story that people are trying to sell you. And Joe Rogan, I think, makes money off of that better than anybody else in the world. You know what I mean? And the fact that Neil Young is like calling this out, and then Spotify is like, nah, fuck you. We like it because like it makes us money, and like he makes us money. So like, and you don't make us money. So like,
which, whoa, for the record, in Neil's defense, is not true. All right. Neil's topmost song on his Spotify profile, it has 9,813,000 streams. To be exact, 9,813,861. I mean, 9,813,861,000 streams.
You are so autistic sometimes. Like, you didn't have to read that whole number. You could have just said 9 million.
It was being exact.
Anyways, or 9.5 million, whichever. Like, anyways.
Stop making fun of me.
Yes, that's true. Spot.
Point is, he's streaming pretty hard, so he doesn't exactly make them nothing.
No, he doesn't make them nothing. But like Joe Rogan gets like almost 200 million streams.
Yeah. So, I'm aware. So they was like,
but no, that's not fair. Like he does do like
no, those are high streams.
Those are high as fuck numbers. Like anybody would be lucky to have those fucking numbers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You serious?
It's just fucking like wild to me that a company out loud would say the quiet part out loud.
Not even try to go like here's how you could have pivoted. Really, you could have been like, all right, we understand your concerns, but you have to understand we have a relationship with Joe Rogan that we fostered, or something sweet. It's like they went into that public relations meeting. It was like, yo, so Neil Young, so I have a speech you can write up, and the exec was like, fuck that speech. Who the fuck does Neil Young think he is?
Yes.
I have a message to send. So we think you should calm down. No, motherfucker. Yeah, we like that shit, Neil. What you gonna do about it with your 9 million streams?
He's like 300 million streams a month. Eat my dick. Like he's like,
right? Gonna complain about me? I gave you everything you are, motherfucker.
Yes, like what?
Bro, like for real, bro. Like, damn, man. Not even tried. That is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't even try to like. You could have used the moment to even speak to Joe Rogan and be like, yeah, it is true that Joe Rogan has been doing that. We would ask him, to maybe change a few things so we don't want to per se be spreading misinformation. No, not at all.
Nope.
Like not even a try. And
they didn't
that
say
is crazy.
Like Joe Rogan's views do not reflect Spotify or shit. They just said, nah, fuck you, Neil Young. Like, like damn. Fuck
Mind
you.
He's an old school artist, so it's even more
like
tacky.
They out loud they said fuck you, Neil Young, but like quietly they kind of said fuck all of us too, because like we're the ones they're spreading the information, the misinformation, the bad information to. We're the ones that like have to deal with like anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, and all these other people that they're just like boosting up every day. Like we're the ones that are like have to deal with people who like prolong the pandemic because of people like Joe Rogan. and they just said fuck y'all because we are making cash. You know what I mean? Like they're like, do you know what it feels like to be able to eat 8 lobsters every night just because? Like I'm like no, I don't know. And it's like, that's because you're a broke bitch, Logan. And like it's like,
all right, bitch, I ain't never had a yacht in my life. Yacht, I got 2 yachts now. I ain't giving this shit up.
Exactly. I'm like, damn.
Okay, all right, wait. Jokes. All right, on the other side, because I was talking about this earlier. So Spotify, otherwise, and with their podcast market, because it was originally music, but in the similar vein, like unless it's direct like hate speech or something in line with that, like it is a free speech market and it's a podcast. Like I said, it's not some peer-reviewed scientific study that has to give you that information. And even if it was, it's not like Spotify would care at this point. But the point is, like, it is his freedom of speech to say what he wants to say on his show. And on that level, they can't just take him off. But obviously, yeah, I get it. It is like, damn, Spotify, you're not even going to try? You're not even going to try to say something about what he's been doing?
Here's what I have to say about the free speech thing, is that Spotify is not a publicly owned. They're not like the U.S. government. Spotify is a privately owned.
Wait. That is it. That freedom of speech doesn't just work for the government. I mean, enacted and enforced by the government. But if a working body within the country is like, yo, I want to allow people to have this space, they still get to do that too.
Yes, but because they're a private entity, they get to regulate speech on their platform.
True, but that doesn't necessarily mean they have to if they feel the people they're supporting or have on their platform should be able to say, or if they agree with what they're saying.
Yes,
so if you want to say they agree with Joe Rogan, you could argue that.
Yes, I could, but what you're describing isn't even a free speech argument. You're describing a business decision. Because it has nothing to do with free speech, what you're describing. What you're describing is whether or not the entity itself, just like I said, deems what the speech is acceptable because of their bottom line or whatever interest you might say, whatever interests they think is beneficial to them or whatever their interests are. You know what I mean? So like free speech means that like I can say whatever I want and the government for all intensive purposes can't lock me up for it. You know,
depending
like you can't
on the
become
circumstances, of course.
Yeah, like you can't say fire in a theater and blah blah blah. But
right.
Like for all intensive purposes, you aren't supposed to be locked up by the government because you're like fuck Trump or fuck Obama or fuck whoever or Biden or whoever. You know what I mean? Like that's not how it's supposed to work in this country. But like the idea that like Spotify can't, like that's like Spotify, even when they signed Joe Rogan, said like had him like censor some of his older content. Like there are episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience that are not on Spotify for good reasons. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, so that's the thing. So it's not like Spotify doesn't know how to censor content on its platform. It's just they didn't fucking want to, and they felt like the misinformation was profitable to them. Goody for them. You know what I mean? That to me is fucking dangerous. It's like it's fucking insane to me. Not that a company would agree to that, but just that they would say it out fucking loud to like billions of people.
That is the crazy part. Like, you didn't even try to take any sense.
It's crazier that y'all ain't fucking mad about it. Like, you know? Like me, you, the audience, everybody, we're not as mad as we should be about the fact that Spotify said, fuck like, y'all, choke on COVID. You know what I mean? Like, damn. That's crazy.
No, I guess that is valid. I'm not going to lie. That is valid.
Spotify's like, let me get this jet ski while you're on a ventilator. You know what I mean?
All right,
like god damn. Like, what the fuck?
Sorry. Less of y'all. Perhaps more money and space for me. Did I mention this yacht? If you're not on the beach, I could just push that bitch.
I'm not even the type of person that believes like corporations should be like good people. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
It's not about that. Like, still, it's just like
I just think
kind
that
of semantics. I don't know if I'd say semantics, but like, it's the principle of it. It's just like, yo, the fuck.
I think people
Since when do you not give a fuck about we who created you?
For real.
Like Spotify wouldn't be anything without the consumer. It literally could not function.
Literally, you run on streams.
Bro, could not function worth a damn. But like was literally just like, nah.
You know what makes Neil Young dumb though?
Other than the lack of bargaining power, isn't this the main thing?
It is the lack of bargaining power. But like, what makes him extra dumb is that like Jay-Z left Spotify and Spotify didn't die. Like, if Jay-Z could leave Spotify, and like, what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? Like,
bro. Oh, dang,
I just
bro.
been thinking about that whole time. Like, god dang,
like they didn't say no after Hove. Neil, come on,
read
man.
the room, Neil. Like, damn.
Okay,
anyway, let's get out of here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm good. I know it's a weird show, but I think we got enough.
This is the weirdest show, but this is actually a
we
great
did
show.
it. We fucking did it.
fucking did it.
We fucking did
it. Mitch, do you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Let us have a very present, uplifting, and fulfilling Black History Month.
All right.
Because I'm black, y'all.
And I'm black, y'all.
I said it first, though.
I know, but I'm trying to join in solidarity with your blackness and my blackness. The fuck?
And I'm pointing out a typical problem within our community.
Within the community?
Look at that, man. Ain't I great? It's going to be a great Black History Month.
You got some bangers today.
Bro, I don't know what's up with me, bro. Yo, I was like, I need to carry today, maybe. So I'm going to just pull everything out the hat.
We're just like around the kitchen singing everything. Oh my god. This is the type of meta show I've been dreaming of. Like, you know what I mean?
Bro, yo, listen, our greatest fucking feedback has been, sounds so conversational. I will never let our fans down in that capacity ever.
I liked when they said we were vulnerable. I like that because we are very transparent.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
When we get there, as we can get there,
Yeah, I want to just echo the same sentiments as before. It's like, just I don't want to say engage with the show. That's another one of those weird marketing buzzword bullshit things. Just engage with the show. Engagement. No, like put it in the comment section, what you hate about the show. If I put a clip up, like, and you hear it, don't just like that shit. Like listen to that shit and be like, nah, you wrong. Like, I mean, like, or like, oh yeah, I love that shit. Something like say something, if you see something, say something, Mitch. I just love that so much. I just love seeing that around New York. That's my favorite ad. If you see something, say something. Because you know why that's my favorite thing? Because nobody says shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry, I didn't know you was a pro snitch.
That's what I mean. Like nobody, like New Yorkers are so big on not snitching. They had to have an ad campaign about it.
You asked him. You saying too many things. You saying too many positive things about snitching for me to trust you right now. I mean, I don't know where you from. Oh wait, I do know where you from. So I specifically need you to calm down with all this acceptance of snitching. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm from South Florida. We don't believe snitching either, you know what I'm saying? So I need you to calm this whole snitch mentality down real quick.
Like your little Tekashi 6ix9ine ass down.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. We in Brooklyn right now. You best get it right.
I love Brooklyn, to be honest.
Me too.
And I would have loved the Upper West Side if I didn't have to, have a whole wild goose chase. It was weird. You know what? I got sent all the way up to the Upper West Side for a phone that wasn't there by my phone company. Yeah, I already said it earlier. I don't know why I said my phone company. But when I passed by, when I got off the train, the first building I passed by was Trump Tower. And that's when I should have known something was wrong in the universe. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was when I should have known, there's God is trying to tell me a sign that nigga, you ain't getting that phone. You know what I mean?
Got off the train, saw the tower, should have been like,
yep.
No, I'm just gonna go home.
Fuck, I should go home. No, as always, You know what it is. I'm not gonna say that bullshit again. I'm never saying that again. I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna say
until
it.
he says it in like a year or so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah,
I guess it might be like a
be like a
6
New
month
Year's
thing
resolution thing. You know,
like, hey, you remember when I didn't say that shit?
Remember when I?
All right, well, I gotta talk to y'all again because, like, things ain't organically growing the way they should be.
Yes. You guys didn't put the numbers in the engagement like I wanted it to. Like,
so, and yeah, I'm using engagement this time.
Yes,
look what you've done to me. Again. Look what I've become. Look what I've become.
I just hate the way I've been becoming. I hate that whole marketing analytics type speech. Like, I hate sausage making in the show. Like, like this is supposed to be a show where you entertain people. People are supposed to learn something. They're supposed to get something out of it, or they're supposed to like have a fucking emotional reaction to it. All I want to know is what your emotional reaction is to the shit. Like, if instead of like, if you like the show or you hate the show, share the show with your friends. Like, if you hate the show, just fucking tell me. You know what I mean? Like, if you like the, you know what I mean? Like, I hate when people like they listen to some shit and they're like, oh, this is garbage, and then they just like never tell you, and then you got like 5 streams for that month, and you're like, what the hell happened? That like, we've never had like just 5 streams for a month. By the way, we've always been doing good. So it's just fucking like, that's always been my pet peeve. Is like, people say you're friends, you know what I'm saying? And then they won't tell you to your face, hey, the shit you're doing is garbage. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would love if my friends told me like, hey, I don't fuck with the podcast.
But it's not garbage. I'm on it. So like,
no, I have some friends that be like, I'd be thinking about listening to your show, but nah. Like, and I'm like, thank you for that feedback. I appreciate that. I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you heard the clips and you decided no.
Sorry, this ain't for me, I don't think.
Yeah,
I move on with my life.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you though, Logan.
Yeah, I love that.
I'll see you next Thanksgiving.
All right. I love y'all as always. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Have a good ride to work. Have a good whatever you're doing while you're listening to the show. Just have a good one. Go ahead and say bye to the people, Mitch.
Good. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black. And I'm black, keeping it black because it's black and it's black.
That's
right. Because I'm keeping it black.
Damn. Do it one more time.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black. And I'm black, y'all.
Hey.
And I'm black, y'all.
Hey.
And I'm black, y'all.
Hey.
And I'm blackity black.
Hey.
Blackity black.
Yeah.
Blackity black. Black, y'all.
That's right. That's the vibe. That's the vibe all month. Have a good damn first week of Black History Month. I'm your host, Logan. This is episode 36. Oh, yeah, and happy Chinese New Year. Yeah, shout out to y'all.
I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. Stay warm and stay peaceful. I'm your host, Logan, and this has been the Milk and Toast Podcast, and we out. See ya.